with that in hand, I think it's a pretty great place to start it. Let's get to it. From smoking pot to selling pot in the Kensington market.
Yeah.
What's popping?
Yeah. It's a weird world.
You know what?
It's
Things are
super
changing.
weird.
Times are changing.
From from illegal market to like being able to just like smoke on the back patio and like go inside and vaporize, where now that's non-existent anymore.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And even just being allowed to like sometimes tell people, yeah, you can smoke inside today. Like it was up to us really. If it was a dead day, too cold outside, rainy, we could like pleasure the customers.
Man.
Which is like, yeah, you smoke inside today. It's all good. We'll open the door, air it out.
Yeah.
Now it's all against the law.
Yeah, which is what it is. I think that's it's what led to
being able to sell it.
I don't know if that's not what led to sell it, but I guess whatever.
It's a weird world. Yeah.
It's a weird world. In regards to let's maybe kick it back and talk old school fucking hotbox days.
Yeah, when you can like serve food.
Yeah, back like I remember first visiting. Your brother being there, and I was there a couple of times, but the whole vibe of it was just something like, for me, it was like straight out of Amsterdam sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who visited Toronto from outside the city, whether it be small towns or other parts of the country, whatever, definitely got that same vibe. And, being there from a young age and being able to be there from what it was then to what it then became and the evolution of it, I'm sure you got a whole plethora of fun stories and good times.
Oh, yeah, I bet. The box from back then, like... It's funny, that story, because I got a job, I was 17? I got a job at Fiesta Farms.
Okay.
I was working at Fiesta Farms doing like the milk side, like the dairy shit, so just front-facing items all the time throughout the store. And it was like the first weekend working there, and I hated it. I was like, fuck, I dread this job, but I need to work and make money.
Yeah.
And I remember my brother messaging me one day being like, you can quit your job and come wash some dishes with your older brother and smoke some weed while you do it.
Hey,
and,
hold on a second.
17-year-old me was like, that sounds the best. So
it's a pretty fucking good time.
I quit Fiesta Farms with 2 days working there.
Okay.
Got cash, just like they gave me cash, didn't even give me a check. And I started working in the hotbox. I was 17, washing dishes. Back then it was different. You could like walk in, still vaping inside. It's a whole different store. It's actually where Jimmy's Coffee is now in the market.
It is, yep.
It was on Baldwin. But there's a little small kitchen in the back. The front was a head shop. Kitchen in the back. My brother was the chef, and he hired me to be dishwashing. But the patio was really nice. You get served food. There were servers. It was a restaurant feel. Like it wasn't like it wasn't the same feel it is now. It was more restaurant feel. You get seated. Come get your order.
You're right. It definitely had that really like sit down, get your vibe. It felt like a restaurant. Oh yeah, spark it up, baby. You also have yourself some to go with your green. We have some green tea here for you as well, my brother. We got ourselves the filtered water as well, and yourself, this thing right here when it comes to pouring your green tea, though, be warned as it spilled all over me as I was pouring yours. Okay. That's why you got a half cup, because I was like, fuck.
No worries.
Got all over me. So this fucking being there from the beginning and seeing the evolution of the place to where it is now. You're not. Are you still in Hotbox a lot, or are you at the neighboring?
I'm both sides.
You're both sides. You are still both sides, right? Okay. So the evolution there from going from smoking pot in the Kensington market as a kid to then smoking pot in a place where you could do it there, and then going to a place that then has its whole vibe, moving over. Now everything's legal. It's kind of like a wild dream ride that kind of happened for those who were around back then, and seeing it for yourself, having gone from the beginning of what that place has now become and expanded to.
Yeah, it's love and hate, right? Like,
Gotcha.
We I think a lot of the people from back then miss the old vibes.
Yeah, okay.
But also we're like very happy. I think a lot of people are still happy that like you're not gonna get in trouble for doing the things we've been doing for so long.
Yep.
And people have been advocating for this for so long that like it just needed to happen, right? Like it's just better off this way.
Yeah.
It definitely changed the lounge atmosphere and what can happen in the lounge and stuff like that. But Abby, the old owner, did what she could and made it work for every aspect of the way, through it. And then until she sold it, and now works for the OCS and supplies each private store with the government weed, which is great. She works for those people. And
okay.
Yeah.
So do you still have contact with that? She's still around then?
She's still around, yeah.
Awesome, okay.
She still comes by the hot box and says what up.
All right.
Shows the love and
nice.
Buys some stuff every now and then. But she also works for the people, so her buying stuff from us is just her just showing love. She doesn't have to do that.
There we go. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so when it came to, when we first talked, when I was talking about doing this podcast and shit, I think you were in the process of going through the program to be allowed to be selling marijuana.
Yeah.
And the lessons that you needed to learn of how to properly, tell me a little bit about that. Because I understand with alcohol, there's, a scary downside of wanting to keep someone's tolerance. And yes, wanting to worry about somebody going for, drinking too hard, they're driving, blah, blah. What is that with marijuana? I have no idea what to expect. No, but what is it about? What's is it basically a smart serve for selling weed?
Yeah, so it's called a can sell.
Okay, there. Yeah, tell me about that.
So it's essentially like a smart serve for weed. So a can sell, they teach you about the federal, provincial laws, what regulations they put into action, like how much milligrams edible could be per packaging.
Okay.
How much you can buy at once, how much you can... just like a bunch of different things. Like they definitely regulate it, and they teach you like I would say like the standards about weed. So indica, sativas, edibles, concentrates, the different concentrates there are, how to ingest, how long it may stay into your system, and they teach you how that cannabis is. It reacts differently to everybody.
Okay,
it's all depending on the person, right? Like I could. Take an edible, and it could affect me within the 30 minutes. Or I could take an edible and it could
it doesn't affect me at all.
It can not affect you.
It could affect
you
very little. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It could take, and each person is different in that sense, right? So it's like.
So then, what it is it kind of like because I'm forgetting the fact that you're not exactly in a bar situation anymore like the hot box. You're not selling pot at the table, telling them about it necessarily. It's more so they're bringing it home, right?
Yeah. Well, it's two different sides. So
two different sides as well. Okay.
204 and then 206. So it's like one side is just cannabis, and you can't there's no connecting door to the lounge or anything. So you have to leave the property, go to the other store.
Okay.
The accessory side's in the front, and then patio in the back.
Patio in the back. All right. Well, when it comes to dealing with clientele, you've been in that business there, dealing with what is to a certain extent a tight knit community of Kensington Market people, right? You have obviously tourists and stuff that come through there as well, but there's a heart of Kensington Market that you and your brother have both been a part of for years upon years.
You see people in the market that you recognize for I'll see somebody and I'm like, I know that guy. And I'm like, I know him from the old hot box. And that's a saying, because it's like, not everybody that used to go to the hot box still comes to the hot box, but they have this underlying kind of respect for it. It's been such an institution in the market that it's kind of like keeping the market vibe, right? Like everything changes, a lot of things change in the market constantly. Yeah. And hot box has been there for 20 years, so almost 20 years. So it's kind of a staple in the market. So to see it leave would be, I think. Even the people that don't go to the hot box, that walk by it in the market or just walk through the market on a daily basis or live there, it would change the market appeal and vibe.
Yeah, 100%. It would absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely been a cornerstone there of the Kensington Market. All right, let's keep it Kensington. What's your favorite place in Kensington Market aside from perhaps hot box and the vibes you've gotten there? What place really stuck out to you over the years?
A few places, to be honest. There used to be Casa Coffee.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Okay.
It's now Best Istanbul, which is great food.
All right.
But Casa Coffee was a big staple. They did coffee to ice cream to candies to all that type of stuff. Other good spots that are in the market right now, Seven Lives is great tacos. I think the market is just so much food options that most of the places that I'll probably name are food options. Yeah. And it sounds like
that's what I think of when I think of the Kensington Market. I guess you are right, there is more than just food and grocery there, but
I like the I don't really shop at a lot of the clothing stores on Augusta too much, but the thrift shops in the market are amazing. Yeah. There's these guys named Retro Heads just down the street on Augusta, and they're there for I don't know how many years, but they're good. They have a lot of vintage clothing. There's tons of vintage clothing in the market. It just depends, really, man. It depends on what you like about the market. I just like to. For me, I worked at the hot box for so long that I sometimes find myself standing outside the box while I'm not working. I'm just having a cigarette.
That's what I was going to ask. How often do you go to the market?
It's just a weird magnetism, like
Okay.
feeling of just like I feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
It's where I stand every other day when I'm working or like when I'm around there. So
Yeah.
it's like, and also like Spencer lives upstairs, so
Yeah.
it's just like it's the comfortable spot.
Okay.
So I feel like the market people as well. Maybe if I'm a market person, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell myself that, but people probably say it.
Yeah.
Each people have their own little area in the market, so like it's a different like vibes in the market.
Okay.
You can go like a block away from it, and it's
Yeah.
a different vibe.
Different vibe.
So like
You're right.
St. Andrew and Kensington Street is like where like the old punks hang out. And,
Yeah.
like it's such an OG corner they've established for themselves, and they're great. Like I know some of them, but like it's just like the different vibes in the market is great, and how everybody kind of. If you know people, like you can be on one side of the like spectrum of how you like dress or how you like carry yourself, but like you're a chill dude, and you can be chill with somebody that's on the whole other side of the spectrum. Where you see it not in Kensington, people are not gonna like sometimes not gonna like talk to each other.
It's not the same. It's not the same. You're right.
People have like a mutual respect, especially if they see you and you're in Kensington for so long.
Yeah.
And your face is recognizable. I might not know your name. You might not know my name.
But you recognize each other.
We recognize each other. And It's kind of that
Show the
mutual
mutual
respect. Yeah.
There we go.
So it's like different like that. It's like a mall within not a mall. You know, it's like an outdoor mall, and everybody kind of just like sees each other every day. It's kind of a weird like dynamic in that.
It
sense.
is. It definitely has that, and the family aspect of it as well. Of those like who have known each other for so long. I was a part of it for maybe less than a year or whatnot, but being there and working with I think it's like Citizen Greg was one guy who I worked with, right? And hearing the stories of the punks, and then having other people come in and stories of just just the stories on stories, and looking at the history of the neighborhood and such.
Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful part of Toronto.